Okay, you are the host, so whatever you say is go. So
well, you get the primary amount of subjects, so we gotta start somewhere with something, and then that'll lead into probably like everything else.
Yeah.
Let's start with beer.
Beer.
Yeah.
Well, give me some cherry flavored or strawberry flavored something, and we'll go with that.
Ew.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like beer with cherry flavors or something. No.
I always forget what that one drink I liked when I went to the casino one time with some friends.
Shirley Temple, it sounds like.
No, that don't sound like something with a P, a P, I don't know how to say it. A Pintia colada.
Pina colada?
Yeah,
Oh, that one.
I think that's what it was called.
They're not bad.
It's coffee taste, right?
It's actually coconut and pineapple.
Ah, yes. Okay, so start the show, Atticus, then I'll click on recording, if you like.
Okay, well, we're here at a jolly good time to talk about some random topics of RPGs and some other stuff going on industry-wise, and probably a few topics of random drama and such. And today I'm being joined in with Carda, who has been missing in action for a long time, and then randomly showed up, and the only way anyone could contact him is on Steam anymore. Oh, sorry, and Dan.
Hello.
Hey Dan. Hey Atticus.
If you want to start on DSX or a different topic, or you can decide. Carter has most of the topic ideas for this, so I'm willingly letting him start the show on that.
Well, maybe start with the Dying Light. How amazed I was. I just bought Dying Light 2 months ago or something, and I seen a stream of you two playing that game as well, and I was always like, okay, I'm not gonna play any zombie game. That's not my game. I don't like zombie games. But then I noticed Dying Light, and I watched some videos. I was like, yeah, man, this could be something. It's just the parkour system that was holding me back a little bit to buy it. But I bought Dying Light, and I had such a great experience with that game. It's really for me. It reminded me of the fun I had with Fallout 4. It's such an open world, and you can do so much things. And the parkour is so good to do. It's better done than Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed I just can't jump. You have to put yourself on one pixel, otherwise you cannot make the jump. And
Yeah.
with this game, it's so flawless and it's so much fun to play.
Yeah, I do have to give him a lot of credit. They made it pretty, the parkour system really good in Dying Light. Because the only other game that I ever saw it decent in was that horrible failure of Blink. Blink had a good parkour system too, but it was a pretty poor shooter, and it died like really fast and everything. But parkour was worked pretty good in that. Where you could just keep going, climbing, jumping around that without much stopping you, slowing you down. I really appreciate the fact that's actual survival game, though, because you see a lot of games that sometimes want to call themselves survival games, but they're really easy, or they just have zombies, but it's not really survival, where there's some aspect that's basically forcing you to decide how to put it, like, just, like a limitation, something that actually threatens your life. Because, I mean, like, Dead Island certainly didn't have anything like that. I mean, you could just literally, until you got to more human enemies with guns, you could just kick waves of zombies into the ground and kill them that way without even using weapons.
That game was a big disappointment, because I completed Dying Light, and I was like, okay, this is a good game, so let me buy that other game from, what's the developer again?
Techland, I believe it was.
Yeah, Techland. So let's buy Dead Island. I knew it was an older game, but I think maybe I'm gonna like that one as well. And I must say the start of the game is amazing, It's good. The intro music is very nice, and then you get at that beach resort. Looks great, but the gameplay compared to Dying Light is so basic. In Dying Light there are, I don't know how many ways to kill a zombie, maybe 40 or 50 different ways, and Dying Light was just a great experience.
Yeah, Dying Light was literally, I mean, I know basically, like, Dead Island was basically really just very Borderlands with melee-type weapons instead of having lots of guns and with zombies. Well, in Dying Light, it actually added it basically did what, like, Dead Rising 2 did, added crafting, where you could actually make and improve things and make them deadly, or...
I could swear there was crafting in Dead Island. I could be wrong. It's been forever since I played the game, but I thought it did have crafting. I'm gonna have to double check on that.
I think you could improve the weapons some. I think I don't remember having stuff like firecrackers and that in it.
No, it didn't have anything like that. Yeah,
you were able to upgrade the weapon at the workbench.
Yeah,
indeed, it wasn't so put well together as Dying Light.
The parkour is really what made the game special, and I think that it is a little bit weird to get used to because you have to actually be looking where you're going, and that for me that took a lot to I have to look up or I have to look over, it's like, why can't I make that jump? But then once you get used to that, you can really do some pretty amazing stuff. Now, you said you just got it. Did you get the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC, or did you get just the original the original version?
Yeah, the Steam version also came with the following and all DLC, so I got the complete package.
Yeah.
So I started playing the following, but at that moment I was getting a little bit bored with the game because I put so many hours in the base game, and the following is a great addition with that buggy, and it's so much different. The map is different. But it also means the map doesn't include all the parkours you had in the base game.
Yeah, I heard it focuses a lot more on a very big open environment instead of in a claustrophobic, big building structures everywhere.
Yeah, that was my concern, was that, like I said, the parkour seemed to be really what set it apart, and it didn't seem to have that. It seemed to be open and driving and that kind of thing. So for me, it really took the core gameplay that I really liked and got rid of it. Made it just another zombie game.
The buggy kind of made me think of Half-Life 2's big buggy section that you drive through for some reason.
I watched some Half-Life 2. Is that game already from 2004? Is that correct? Is that already 12 years ago that game was released?
Oh, good lord, I don't even remember.
It feels like 3. No, 3, but it feels like 6 years ago.
I mean, Half-Life 2 was on the original Xbox, so it's only been a long time.
For those days, that game, man, that was amazing. Half-Life 1 was even more amazing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Half-Life 1, I will never forget the intro of that game. How you arrive in that station and then go with that experiment. I'll never forget that part.
Yeah, I'm sure for that time, I mean, that kind of introductory to a game was certainly something different. I mean, it was a lengthy, timely, like, I guess you could say maybe that was the Hideo Kojima opening cutscene of its time. Since, most games you just start the level and get to it. You don't have this big introductory with story and talking and that.
Yeah, go ahead then.
I was just gonna say I don't remember it being that long, but then again I don't remember much about the first game.
I'm just saying for that time period that you didn't usually get long intros that was that long without actual gameplay. I mean, until the game actually kicks off, it's pretty much a walking simulator where you're interacting with the characters, listening to the dialogue. You're not really, running around with a crowbar yet or anything.
Right.
Yeah, it had lots of the atmosphere like System Shock was able to do. And what was the other game? The first DSX. I think for those days, the first DSX, System Shock, and Half-Life were really, truly gems.
Yeah,
I never played System Shock 1, but System Shock 2 was really good, and Deus Ex is my favorite game today.
They have System Shock 1 available on GOG now.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought the second one on GOG.
Yeah, for a long time, there was some licensing issue with the first one, so they couldn't get it, and I believe it was sometime late last year or early this year they finally got it, so...
Yeah,
okay.
It's correct. At this moment, I don't know the company name. I have it on Steam. There's a company working on a remake for System Shock 1.
Yeah, that was kickstarted.
And, yeah.
They're claiming they're going to keep it very faithful to it, but that's what a lot of people say. That's what the people who did Dead Rising 3 said.
Well, it's a free download. You can download the demo for free on the PC, and of course I downloaded it. And I must say, indeed, it's true to the original.
Well, that's good to hear. Because sadly, a lot of times that doesn't usually happen.
But like Dan, I'm more the System Shock 2 fan. System Shock 2 was double for me, double as amazing as the first one. So I hope they will complete the first one and then continue on the second one, because I truly want to play System Shock 2 again, but then in HD.
Well, if it does really well, hopefully it will, but if it's keeping true to the roots of the game, it's not going, assumingly it's not going to have a lot of the casualization of having 5 million checkpoints and everything like more modern games do. So that could be a turn-off for potential buyers that never played the old games or play old games in general.
What's up,
Yeah.
Dan's wife's in a weapon.
Yeah, the current games. I watched gameplay today
No, I
from
didn't. I'm sorry.
let's wait for them.
Okay. It's fine. Alright, love you. Mwah.
Dan's being a show-off on stream to all the single people.
I'm not being a show-off.
Yeah, you are.
No. I didn't say a word about what happened last night. Uh-oh.
But you said there was, for the current generation, how the games are going. I watched some Mafia 3 gameplay from it's not my favorite channel, but I did watch him. Angry Joe played Mafia 3 with the other Joe, and oh my god, that game I'm not. It's also a new generation game. It's got X-ray vision in a Mafia game. The other Joe, there were 4 people he had to kill. So he walked up to those 4 people and he stepped into a car that was on two feet from those bandits. He stepped into the car and he just drove away, and the bandits didn't react, nothing at all. So it's another game that's been dumbed down.
You see, that's what Dead Rising 3 suffered. Even though signs of it showed up and off the record they introduced the checkpoint system, Dead Rising 3 was considered the casualization of the franchise, because it added checkpoints. You had lockers that everything you combined in, you could just, if you combined it, you could spawn it out of your locker. So you can go to your locker and get fill up your inventory slots with it without having to go get the materials to make it again and such. And it really dumbed down the core experience of what a Dead Rising game was. And a lot of franchise keep doing that. I mean, I can understand trying to get more sales and new fans and such, but shitting on the people who liked the game and supported it to that point also feels bad, in my opinion.
Because the older Dead Rising didn't have checkpoints, or you had to complete a level and then save it, or no?
In Dead Rising games, and to be fair, they've actually kept the save system in all of them still, but in Off the Record, which was a reimagining of the second game with Frank West as the lead character instead of Chuck Green, they introduced a checkpoint system kind of similar to like more modern Elder Scroll games, and that where you can actually make it where you saves every time you go and hit a load screen. The game checkpoints every time you hit a load screen, and Dead Rising 3 took that too. But you can still save the old way too, which is at a bathroom. In all of them, you've always saved at bathrooms. But yeah, if you play any of them before Off the Record, you have to always go to anywhere there was a bathroom stall. So, you know, that added an element of knowing the layout of the environment and, well, making sure you save that. Because, I mean, the game's not holding your hand. It certainly was not a game that held your hand at all. It gave you an arrow to point you in the direction of the story scoops and that you get, but it wasn't there to tell you what to do or anything, which, of course, is why people like DSP can't play the games right, because, oh my god, I have to think.
Yeah, that's been a big thing that I've kind of railed against for years. All the older games, they just said, you know what, go. Figure it out. And they didn't give you anything, and they didn't show you anything, and they didn't do anything like that. The newer games, they're like, you know, if you spend more than 30 seconds wandering around, they're like, look over here, why don't you try going this way? It's like, no, I don't want that. Turn that off. Turn off checkpoint objective markers. Turn off, you know, little stupid lines on the ground that tell you where to go. That's not playing a game.
I remember a video I saw a long time ago that talked about, I can't remember if it was Fable 2 or Fable 3 that had the mysterious, magical, golden line to your destination. I think it was 3.
I think it was too.
But I remember the video was talking about how that game design is really horrible, because really, it's just follow the line. You don't pay attention to the rest of the environment. You're not encouraged to explore because the line is directing you exactly to your objective. It's not any ifs or buts. It's just follow the yellow brick road to the end to your goal. Don't bother looking anywhere in between or on the sides.
Or the line that all the current racing games I see, they have the line in the road. And if you go too fast, it turns red. So then, okay, I got a break here because there's a corner. But when I watch gameplay video from people doing racing games, they all race with those lines on. Well, to my opinion, that line, then it's no more a racing game. You just pay attention to the line. Okay, I'm going too hard, so I got a break here.
I didn't even know that was a thing. But I don't play racing games.
I don't like that.
Yeah, because that's just prompting. That's what's a good example? I get what you're saying, because that's just prompting you to hit the button to correct yourself. It's like, hey, you need to do this, not I need to concentrate on my character, not I just need to wait for that prompt and know to do it instead.
Yeah. It's not playing the games. It's a virtual connect the dots simulator. Okay, I go from here to here. Now I have to go here. Now I have to go there. It's
playing a quick time event.
Yeah, there's no thought involved.
Yeah, and there was one game. Well, the game you were playing, Metal Gear Solid 5. I played it as well. But for Metal Gear Solid 5, I would have loved a free save game. That, okay, I'm now at the entrance of a camp, I want to save here, and if something goes wrong, I just want to reload that game. But for me, I wished Metal Gear Solid had more freedom to save the game instead of...
Yeah, and almost none of the entries, even the older ones, never had a simplistic save system. I remember in a lot of the PS2 ones, if I remember correctly, when you saved, sometimes you wouldn't even be in the same area you saved, and you'd be in some other safe area that's maybe several rooms somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2 had, all you had to do was call on the codec, but yeah, like you said, it wasn't just exactly where you were.
Yeah, you wouldn't be exactly where you're standing, or not even always in the exact same room. It sometimes would be like a room or two ago or something, and I never really remember how the hell that all worked. But yeah, I mean, it certainly never had a very simple save system. I mean, yeah, in the older ones you usually just called on the codec, but it wasn't for the exact moment where you exactly... I think some of the even older ones, I think sometimes, depending on where you saved, I think sometimes you had to reactivate some cutscenes, I think, too, but it's been a long time since played a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you want to complete a level sneaky, and you don't want to get caught, and you just want to sneak. And when you get caught, I'm so used, like Deus Ex, the new one as well. I'm glad it offers a save game. You can save any moment you like. When you're standing in front of 4 enemies, you just save, and if something goes wrong, you just reload. Because I want to be stealthy, and I want to play Metal Gear Solid like that as well. If I get some bandit camps, there are 15 people all watching each other on a close pace, and I want to solve the problem by sneaking to them and stealthy take them down. But when the alarm goes off, it's like a madhouse, with 14 people just looking for you. And those moments, I just wished, okay, I wish I could load here and then try again my stealthy approach. But you just have to replay the complete map to get to that base again. And
well, I have noticed with Metal Gear Solid 5, since that's what brought up this, I have noticed when you die, it checkpoints you every time you go into any of the encampments. So if you die in it, I've always restarted outside it, so it checkpoints you when you go into the encampments in 5.
Huh. I haven't played enough of it. I really need to get back into that game.
Oh, I tell you, the one thing I really wish I could do faster on is with the materials. They take forever to process, so I can build more platforms.
Yeah.
But go ahead, though, Carter. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to throw that out.
That was basically the thing I wanted to say. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. It's not a bad game. I mean, the map was a little bit disappointing. It's open world, but not really open world. Those mountains, they still push you on one path, or maybe you got 2 options. And okay, sometimes you have a third option to go around or to the backside of a camp. But the game was not bad, and it was. If you like stealth, I think it's a great game.
It's an interesting take, but I think I can't remember who did a video about it, but I think in the end it does have a lot of empty nothingness in between all the bases. Like, I mean, if Hideo Kojima was still with them, was going to do something more, it would have been interesting to see what he would do next on top of that. Because, I mean, when you're not inside a base, I mean, what more are you really doing aside from maybe capturing some of the random wildlife and picking the flowers you see?
Aw, picking flowers.
Just saying, I mean, if you're not in a base, you're usually not doing much else out in between them aside from heading to another base.
Metal Gear Florist.
Yeah, my favorite part in Skyrim or Fallout, it's looking for flowers to craft. You gotta
I'm
love
just
it.
saying, there's not a lot to it. Like, I mean, in Elder Scrolls and that, I mean, you can find random people, quests, merchants, dungeons. I'm just saying, there's nothing in between most objectives in Metal Gear Solid 5. It's just usually a wasteland with a few wild animals and flowers. in between. Which, I mean, yeah, you get money from the animals, and you get to make stuff like knockout stuff or stronger sleep medicine stuff with flowers. But I'm just saying, you know, it's like you're not gonna run into like, hey, look, there's some random truck that has prisoners I could save all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people with Fallout 4, they're like, oh, the map is like half the size. Yeah, but it's so much more dense with stuff to do.
Well, I think with them, I mean, basically every game they've made has almost always been smaller. I mean, with like the Elder Scrolls series, since they've owned Elder Scrolls since the beginning, unlike Fallout where they got to 3 was when they started owning it, but Daggerfall, if I remember correctly, is the largest Elder Scrolls map, and then every other game after it has continuously became smaller.
Huh.
Yeah, but then Dan has a good point.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
It's got a map. It's maybe larger than the.
I'm just saying it's probably. I'm just saying it's probably not very surprising considering that's basically been a track record with them. But I certainly agree with more technology and such, been able to put more content in there. So I'm not disagreeing on that at all. But I'm not really sure, like how, like between Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4, I'm not really sure if those have continuously been smaller or not. Not really sure.
I think the map from 4 is larger than 3, but I haven't comparisons. But
New Vegas.
Yeah, I think 4 is. Yeah, no, New Vegas was not from those developers. Was another developer, right?
Oh, was it? They hauled out the license to someone?
Yeah, I think Obsidian did. Didn't Obsidian do New Vegas?
I can't remember. Somebody else did it, yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
New Vegas was better than 3, to my opinion. But that's personal. But I think the map of Fallout 4 is indeed it's big enough for all the content they give in it. And I still have to play that new DLC, that Harbor. And Nuka World, I still have to play, so there's still a lot to do. But some other day, I enjoyed the base game of Fallout 4. Really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like as much was that the villages you have to build and go all resources, because I don't have 7 personalities, so I don't have. I have to transfer all the resources from one town to the other to build stuff there, and to go back and get more resources and go back and then again. That part didn't interest me much, but the exploring, most of those games I like exploring the best. Side quests and exploring, that's also DSX. That's the things I like most. And Fallout 4 did a great job in that.
I think it was an interesting idea to be able to build stuff. It certainly probably gave a lot more use to all the stuff you could grab. Because, I mean, even in Elder Scrolls, you could basically steal the kitchen sink from most people, let alone all the possessions, books, dishes, food. So, I would say it gave a function probably to most things you could steal and take. Because, aside, in older games, you basically just sold them. It's like, oh, look, a bazillion random garbage things in a random container in the store here. Or, I don't know what half the stuff is, I'll sell it. But, yeah, I could understand probably, because it still has like a inventory limit, right? So you can only carry so much of it, so you would probably have to go back and forth getting another full bag of stuff to bring it to a new location to build more crap.
My only thing with the settlements is that I wish they did more. I mean, yeah, okay, you get experience points for the missions and stuff, at least the first settlement. Because the first settlement's kind of like the tutorial thing where you go through, they need this and they need that. And you do get experience for doing that. But after that, there's no real reward. It's just item management and inventory switching, and It's a lot of work for almost nothing.
Yeah, kind of agree with that.
I won't know because I haven't played it.